Imagine creating something that changes the world forever, but no one remembers your name. The internet, the tool that powers our lives. Emails, videos, social media. It all started because of one man, a man you've probably never heard of. And when he died, hardly anyone noticed. In the early 1960s, computers were the size of entire rooms. They hummed, they clicked, they were slow, expensive, and completely isolated. If you wanted to send data from one machine to another, forget it. It was like trying to whisper to someone across an ocean. But one man, Paul Baran, had an idea. Not just an idea, a vision. He imagined a network, a system where information could be broken into tiny pieces, sent across multiple routes, and reassembled anywhere in the world. It was crazy. Too crazy for the military. Too crazy for scientists. They told him it's impossible. But Paul didn't listen. And here's where the story gets interesting, because what he created next would become the foundation of the internet. The year was 1962. The Cold War was at its peak. The United States and the Soviet Union stood on the edge of nuclear war. If a nuclear bomb hit, traditional communication systems would be wiped out instantly. One direct hit and the entire phone network would collapse. Paul Baran, working at Rand Corporation, was given a mission: find a way to keep America's communications alive even after a nuclear attack. Most people thought it was impossible, but Paul had a wild solution: decentralization. Instead of one main hub controlling everything, he imagined a web of connections. If one part was destroyed, the rest would still work. It sounded like science fiction, and yet it worked. But there was a problem, a big one, and it had nothing to do with technology. Paul presented his plan to the biggest names in telecommunications. His system, called packet switching, could send digital messages in chunks, fast, secure, unstoppable. The phone companies laughed. They said, "Why would we need this? The current system is fine." The military ignored it too. They didn't see the urgency. Paul kept trying. Meeting after meeting, door after door closed in his face. And then something happened that would change everything. In 1969, the US Department of Defense launched a new project, ARPANET. It was meant to connect universities and research labs. The scientists leading ARPANET, they read Paul's old research papers. They took his ideas, packet switching, decentralization, and built them into their network. By the early 1970s, ARPANET was alive. It worked exactly the way Paul had imagined years before, except no one credited him. Paul didn't get a single award, no headline, no history book mention. He watched as others became known as the fathers of the internet. Meanwhile, he quietly moved on to other projects. But deep down, he knew the truth. While the world raced toward the digital age, Paul lived a modest life. He kept inventing, kept thinking about how technology could serve people. He developed ideas for digital voice communication, for wireless systems, for secure networks. Many of his concepts were years ahead of their time. But fame? Paul never chased it. Friends described him as humble, a man more interested in solving problems than collecting praise. And then, one winter morning in 2011, the man who had laid the foundation for the internet passed away at the age of 84. Almost no one noticed. Today, we send billions of messages a day. We stream movies, run businesses, fall in love, all through a network built on packet switching. Paul Baran didn't get statues or parades, but without him, the internet as we know it might never have existed. His story is a reminder. Sometimes, the people who change the world the most are the ones working quietly in the background. And that makes me wonder how many other forgotten heroes are out there right now, changing our future without anyone noticing? If you want to hear more hidden stories of the people who shaped our world, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next one might just blow your mind.